So I've looked at a ton of different credit cards out there, and overall, I feel like I found a few that are definitely worth looking at. So I'm going to be going over those 3 credit cards specifically. We're going to be going over their perks, their rewards, and also some of the things I don't like about them as well. But overall, I think these are very good credit cards to consider, especially if you're in the market and you're looking for a new one. And I also want to mention that the information is accurate as of the posting date, but obviously in the future, different things can happen with different credit cards. So for instance, the rewards, the APR, maybe the bonus offer, those types of things can change in the future. So just be aware that you do want to do your own research when you're looking for a card, because things might not be exactly the same as what I'm mentioning right now in this video. Okay, so the first card that made my list goes to the Chase Freedom Unlimited Visa, and this is a cashback credit card. So in my opinion, this is the best type of category out there. I really like cashback. And the cool thing about this credit card is it has a $0 annual fee. So you don't ever have to worry about having to pay that stupid annual fee. And then on top of that, you've also got an intro APR of 0% on new purchases for the first 15 months. So this is a very good intro offer, especially if you're the type of person who carries a balance on your credit card, because for the first 15 months, it's going to be 0%. But just be careful here, because I don't want you racking up a bunch of debt just because they're offering this with the credit card. And the intro offer right now for the Freedom Unlimited is that you're going to get an additional 1.5% cash back on everything you buy in every category on up to the first $20,000 spent in the first year. So it's worth up to $300 cash back if you maxed out that $20,000 limit. And after your first year or $20,000 spent, the reward categories will resume at their normal rates, which I'll mention next. Now, as far as the cashback rewards go, the categories are very simple, and I'm just going to start with the highest one here, which happens to be 5% cashback on all travel purchases, but the travel purchases have to be made through the Chase Ultimate Rewards program. So obviously, if you are going to be going somewhere, check Chase Ultimate Rewards first, because if you can find a very good value inside there, then you can also get 5% cash back. So it's a win-win if that price is going to be competitive enough. So just keep in mind 5% cash back on travel, but it has to be through the Ultimate Rewards program. You'll also get 3% back on dining, restaurants, and then any delivery service as well. So if you like to eat out a lot, then 3% is extremely competitive, especially when there's not an annual fee. And then you'll also get 3% cash back on all drugstore purchases as well. And then for everything else that you use the Freedom Unlimited on, you're going to receive 1.5% cash back on everything that doesn't fall into those other specific categories. And 1.5% cash back is extremely competitive, because there's a lot of credit cards out there that still just offer 1%. So 1.5% is a big deal, especially if you spend a lot of money every year on your specific credit card. So overall, when you look at all the different rewards categories, including the 1.5% cash back, the Chase Freedom Unlimited is a very good credit card to consider. And then also keep in mind that your points are never going to expire as long as your account's opened. And then there's also not a minimum that you have to redeem. So for instance, if you wanted to redeem $1, you can do that with the Chase Freedom Unlimited. Now, one of the only cons that I found with this card is that they do charge a foreign transaction fee of 3%. So just keep in mind, if you did leave the United States and you spent $5,000, then you'd have to spend an extra $150 on the foreign transaction fee. So if you do leave the country quite a bit, maybe this isn't the card for you, because if you are spending a lot of money overseas, then you don't want to be paying a foreign transaction fee, and this card does have one of those. Now, if you happen to be in the market for a new credit card, I do have an affiliate link to creditcards.com in the description below. So definitely check them out if you have an interest, because they have a wide variety of very good credit cards in different categories that you can sift through. So for instance, if you just want to look at hotel cards, maybe cash back, travel, you can sift through all the different credit cards in those categories, and then you can decide for yourself which one is going to be best for you. So definitely check out creditcards.com if you have an interest. Now, the next credit card on my list goes to the Chase, Marriott, Bonvoy, Boundless Visa, and that's kind of a tongue twister. It does happen to be another Chase card, but this is a very good card in the hotel category, because basically you earn points that you can redeem towards free stays at all of the participating hotels, and that is a very good thing, in my opinion, if you travel a lot. This card also has a new member offer right now where you can get 100,000 bonus points after you spend $3,000 in the first 3 months after opening the card. So obviously it's not as easy as spending $500, but if you're going to be spending that $3,000 anyway, 100,000 bonus points is a ton when you consider that their free night awards start at just 7,500 points. So obviously 100,000 bonus points, that could potentially get you quite a few free hotel stays. Now, I do need to mention that the Marriott Boundless does have an annual fee of $95, but the cool thing is that every year on your account's anniversary, you're going to receive a free night award valued up to 35,000 points. So basically, in compensation for the annual fee, you get a free night stay. So as long as you can use that every year and make use of it, then in my opinion, I don't think paying that annual fee is really a bad thing. And then as far as the categories go for reward points, they're going to start with 6 times points for every dollar spent at all participating hotels. So they say that there's over 7,000 participating hotels out there. So if you are spending money at those hotels, you're going to get 6 times the points. And then for everything else that you spend money on, there is a flat 2 times points for every dollar spent on everything else. And you should also know that if you're a Marriott Bonvoy member, you can earn up to an extra 10 times points for every dollar spent. And you can also earn an extra 1 times point for being a Silver Elite status, which is just a benefit of having the credit card. So potentially you can earn up to 17 times points for every dollar spent at their participating hotels and by making sure that you're participating in their membership programs, which is pretty dang easy to do. And then I also want to mention that the points are unlimited and they are not going to expire as long as you use the card every 24 months. So every 2 years, you've got to make a purchase on the card in order for the points not to expire, but that should be very easy for most of us. And there's also a new benefit that's been added where you can earn 3 times points for every dollar spent on the first $6,000 spent in combined purchases each year at grocery stores, gas stations, and dining. So every single year you can spend up to $6,000 and you can earn 3x points because that's a new benefit and that one alone makes this credit card extremely competitive. And then the last thing I want to mention about the Marriott Boundless is that they do not have a foreign transaction fee. So if you are the type of person that travels a lot outside the United States and you spend a lot of money on your credit card, then this is maybe one that you would consider because they don't have the foreign transaction fee, unlike the Freedom Unlimited that I was talking about that does have the 3% foreign transaction fee. Now, the next credit card that made my list goes to the Costco Anywhere Visa by Citibank. And this is a very straightforward cashback card, and it is extremely competitive. The card does not have an annual fee, but you do have to be a Costco member in order to have the credit card. So you are looking at least paying $60 a year to be a Costco member in order to have the credit card, but there is no annual fee. So as long as you do spend a lot of money at Costco, then it really does kind of compensate for it. And then also the Costco Anywhere Visa is not currently offering a new member bonus or a 0% intro APR. So you're really not going to get any kind of a bonus for signing up for the specific credit card. But as far as the categories go, these are huge, and this is what I'm talking about next. You're going to start out with 4% cash back on all gas purchases, including at Costco, up to the first $7,000 per year. And then after that, you're going to get 1% cash back on gasoline purchases. So this is huge because unless you're spending more than $7,000 a year on gasoline, you're going to get 4% back. And I think for most of us, we're not even going to come close to that $7,000 mark. So you're always going to be able to take advantage of that 4% cash back on all gas purchases. And then you're also going to get 3% back on all restaurants and 3% back on all eligible travel. So if you happen to travel a lot and eat out a lot, then 3% is huge in both of those categories because most credit cards are either going to offer one or the other, not both restaurants and travel. You'll also get an extra 2% cash back on all other Costco purchases. So if you do happen to shop at Costco quite a bit, an extra 2% is definitely worth it. And then for every other purchase that you can make that doesn't fall within those specific categories, you're going to get 1% cash back, which is still really good because you're at least getting something for all the other purchases that you make. And then I also want to mention that the Costco Anywhere Visa does not have a foreign transaction fee. So if this is important to you, you don't have to worry about that fee with this card. Now, one of the only things that I don't like about the card, and it's really not that big of a deal, but it's the fact that every year in the month of February, you're going to receive a physical coupon in the mail, and you have to take that coupon into Costco and redeem it for your cash back. And that is the only time of year that you can redeem your cash back. So if you're the type of person that likes to accumulate a bunch of points and then just use them whenever you feel like it, you can't do that with this card. You can only redeem them once a year, and it happens to be in February. So if that's not a big deal for you, then go ahead and get this card. But if that is something that bothers you, as of now, that's still the way that they do it. And once again, if you just found this channel, I'm Jason with Honest Finance, and I make a lot of videos on different topics that'll give your life and your finances more value. So feel free to subscribe if you're into that type of content. But thanks for watching. Have a great day.